Welcome, Wisconsin Rapids community media viewers and Lincoln High School Red Raider wrestling fans. This is the WIAA State Individual Wrestling Championships. The Red Raiders have 7 individuals represented in this tournament for the Lincoln High School Red Raiders. First up will be Degan Armagost from Wisconsin Rapids, taking on Anthony Strong out of Brown Deer Mesmer. That will be way down on the far end of the Cole Center. Next up will be 120-pounder Landon Freeman. He'll take on Lincoln Flater out of Hartford Union. The Red Raiders also qualified for the team state championship. That will be next weekend at the Old Barn, the Field House in Madison, Wisconsin. Degan Armagost, a freshman, 38-8. Anthony Strong from Brown Deer is a junior, 40-9. Degan Armagost, the number 3 seed. Strong, the number 14 seed in the bracketing in this tournament. 8 mats on the floor, 6 mats dedicated to Division I wrestlers, 2 mats dedicated to the girls. And we are off. Armagost in the black singlet with the white on the back side of it. Craig Tim giving you mat side seats. We thank him greatly for volunteering his weekend. My name is Scott Tesch. I'll be giving you move-by-move accounts of this tournament. Little feel-out session. This is all individual. Win a match at all costs. Doesn't make a difference if it's by 20 or if it's by 1 point. Winning the match is the key. Strong with a low shot in. Armagost trying to counter. Strong trying to come out the back side. Strong trying to get to a double leg now. Armagost fighting the takedown attempt. Armagost sprawls out, comes to a front headlock, gets to his base, chuck on by, they get back neutral on their feet. No points, no score, still 0-0, just under a minute left. Armagost drag attempt, body lock, wizard toss, out of bounds they go. Armagost off that front headlock one more time. Trying to come around the corner, traps an ankle, takes him down as he puts him on the side of his singlet. 2 takedown to Red Raider. Picks an ankle. Got a cross face to the far side elbow on this near side of you. Hard ride working to a bar. Strong tried to set out. Armagost almost put him to his back. Short time in the period, and that runs to an end. 2-0, Armagost with a lead after 1. Headgear getting fixed now on Strong from Brown Deer Mesmer. And we got a little blood and a headgear issue, so we're getting that straightened out. Back now at the center we go. Strong going down to start the second period. Armagost covered on the left side, right side tight waist. Chops a wrist, takes him off his base. Good start for the Red Raider here. Armagost working that bar on this near side arm. You can see him got it stuck in there. See if he can work to get that far side wrist. Brown able to clear his hips, come out and face him. Get the 1-point escape, 2-1. Armagost. Minute 30 left, second period, on their feet, neutral. Snap down collar tie. Took a shot into Armagost, got stopped. Back to their feet, neutral again. Underhook on the right-hand side. Armagost into a barrel roll. Takedown. Couldn't quite catch him on his back. He's got 2 for the takedown. Cut back again, attempt by Strong from the bottom. Armagost with a bar, rips it behind the head. Lost that grip on that elbow. 4-1, 45 seconds left, second period. The winner of this match advances to the quarterfinals. Strong again tried to sit out. Armagost trailed him pretty well that time, got 28 seconds left. Half now, Strong goes over, Armagost looking for a pin. Gonna reposition, regrip one more time, try to run him over. Referee looking for a pin here. Changes to a headlock. Strong hips out hard with a bridge. Armagost stuck him on his shoulders. 3 near fall time, runs out. Strong survived. 7-1, the score. Armagost choice, he goes down to start the third period. Strong trying to get his wits back about him as he was close to being stuck. Strong sets on the left-hand side. Base off by Armagost. Armagost to a high base now. Switch attempt on the way down to the mat. Hooks that leg. Strong picks the backside ankle. Armagost trying to step over the body of Strong. Now coming out the backside with a Polish double. Gonna figure out which way to separate the legs. Stepped across, has him scissored. Now he just got to turn the body. 2 reversal Armagost, 9-1 the lead. Minute and a half left. Got a bar one more time. His opponent, Bryson Buesler or Gavin Walters out of Hartford Union. That's the other half of this bracket. Still with a bar on their left-hand side is Armagost. Coffee grinder on the opposite side. They kicked their way out of bounds. Got 1 minute even left. Armagost 9-1 in the lead.
His opponent from Wisconsin Rapids, Lincoln, Landon Freeman.
Landon Freeman got called to a mat. And he will be right down in front of us when we get done. Landon Freeman, again, is taking on Lincoln Flater, a junior, 39-2 out of Hartford Union. Freeman, the number 12 seed. Flater, the number 5 seed in the bracketing. Armagost continuing to ride. Strong trying to hit a switch. Couldn't do that. 35 seconds left. Armagost riding still with 18 seconds left, and Strong finally gets the escape. 9-2. Trying to get a Chinese wizard going there, did Armagost, but couldn't quite do that. 6 seconds left. 9-2, Armagost. Takedown on the slide by. 2 takedown, it's 9-4 the lead and the win. Degan Armagost advances to the quarterfinals. Next up again, as I had mentioned, Landon Freeman taking on Lincoln Flater out of Hartford Union. Flater with a takedown. He leads 4-1. Warning, stalling on Freeman. Near fall off of Ellsworth bar and got 3 near fall. Tough matchup for the Red Raider here. The matchup, if Freeman loses, will be between probably Cale Zielinski out of Muskego, who's the 4th seed. And then Freeman's got to be Flater's biggest fan, because if Flater wins, Freeman would get a Wrestleback. Flater now comes to his feet, separates the hands, gets the 1-point escape. He leads 8-1 now, and he takes down Freeman. It's now 10-1, a minute and a half left, second period. Legs are scissored apart underneath by Flater on Freeman, and he uses that Turk tip attempt. Trying to score near fall there is Flater. 2 more near fall on that Turk. It's 12-1 now, 45 seconds left, second period. Hip tip again, takes him over suicide style. He's going to get a full complement of 3 here. Freeman cannot get away from the bottom. One more turn like that, and it's going to be a technical fall for Flater. Here's the bar. Near fall coming. This is going to be a tech fall if he doesn't get pinned. There's your tech fall, 17-1, Flater. Now Freeman has to hope that Flater beats his next opponent. That way Freeman will get a Wrestleback. If Flater loses, Freeman is knocked out of the tournament. 126-pounder Carter Freeman. I do not see him on the board right now. He's the top seed in the bracket. He's going to take on Grady Gallagher out of De Pere, who is the number 16 seed. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with more Lincoln High School Red Raider Wrestling. Carter Freeman on the mat now at 126 pounds, a top seed in the bracket. He's a junior, 44-4, is taking on Grady Gallagher, De Pere, freshman, 23-20. Freeman with a takedown, cradle, and a pin in the first period. 1 minute flat on the pin time for Carter Freeman. Freeman now waits for the Noah Molzon of Hudson or Torin Kukanen out of Waukesha West. That's the other half of his 8-man side of the bracket. That will be the matchup in the quarterfinals. Once again, Carter Freeman, top seed in the bracket, into the quarters with a 1 minute pin over Grady Gallagher. We'll be back with more Lincoln High School Red Raider Wrestling when we return to the Kohl Center in Madison. Back now down in Madison at the Kohl Center Individual State Wrestling Tournament. 157-pound matchup. About ready to step on the mat, your Red Raider, Bennett Weidman. He is a senior for the Red Raiders this year, 42-6. The number 8 ranked wrestler in the bracket, or 8 seeded wrestler. He's taking on Graydon Road of Marshfield. Junior, 37-10. Little past history this year. In the dual meet, the first one of the year, the Red Raiders took on Marshfield, who were ranked 3rd at the time. Put a pounding on them. And Weidman pinned Road in a minute 57. Then they met in the conference match, or conference tournament, excuse me, and Weidman pinned him in 3 minutes 30 seconds. So we'll see how this matchup goes. The more you wrestle an opponent, the tougher it gets. Weidman coming off a dislocated kneecap in the sectional finals. Ended up losing that match basically on one leg. And wrestled his way back after they put the kneecap back in place on the mat. And wrestled his way back, finishing 2nd and gaining his way as a senior a trip to the Kohl Center here. Russian arm tie on the right-hand side by Weidman. Off the mat they work. Weidman in the black singlet with the big WR red and white on the left hip and back. Rhodey in the orange and black from Marshfield. In the other side of this quarter bracket, the top wrestler, Charlie Millard out of Homestead, is taking on Mason Drought out of Muskego. Millard, the odds-on favorite, takedown by Weidman. 30 seconds left. Weidman on top riding. Again, it's not how big you win a match, it's just win. Important match for the Red Raider. Needs to win this one to get into a chance against probably Charlie Millard, which Millard would be the favorite. And if Millard wins that match, Weidman goes out the backside. He can finish as high as 3rd. Now they're going in the championship side of the bracket. So we'll see how this pans out. At 126 pounds, an update, Carter Freeman takes on Noah Moltson out of Hudson. He's 47-10, a senior. End of 1, 2, 0, Weidman. Flipping a disc, comes up Weidman's color. He defers. Rhodey takes down. Weidman will cover and ride, starts on the left-hand side, chops a wrist, takes him off his base. Got wrist control underneath. Weidman pins that arm out. Now Road trying to reach back and grab a leg. Weidman with a crossface stops that. Claw ride now by the Red Raider. Tip attempt as they roll through. No near fall there. Weidman with a half and a wrist tied up. Rhodey to his feet. Weidman takes him down to the mat again. They're on the edge of the circle. So any advancement, Weidman's got to figure out how to keep Rhodey inside the mat. And they're out of bounds. 1:04 left, second period, still 2-0 Weidman. Rhodey trying to turn inside and post up to his feet. Couldn't do that. Weidman stopped that move. Claw ride again by the Red Raider, sticking in a legs ride now on the left-hand side. Power half, cross body, trying to turn Rhodey. Rhodey just rolled right through it quickly to get back to his seating position. Weidman up high over the shoulders. Rhodey comes to his feet. Weidman drops to a single. And he gets the escape, does Rhode. 15 seconds left. 2-1.
His opponent from Kenosha Indian Trail,
And Weidman's knee is hurt again. He goes back limping on one leg. End of 2 periods. Weidman's choice. He's going to go down. He's working the right knee. Weidman to his feet, and Rhode cuts him loose. Weidman trying to fix that right side knee pad. And they're going to work on their feet. Weidman trying to get a little more motion in that leg. He's a wounded wrestler. Russian arm tie again by the Red Raider. Rhode able to pick that arm out of there. .1:15 left.
Wrestling at number 7. From Onalaska Luther, Jackson Hughes against Logan Espy of Watertown.
Weidman trying to get to that Russian arm tie. Rhode with a shot in. Weidman sidestepped that one. Rhode's going to try to pick up the pace here with 47 seconds left. Weidman got him in there, Russian one more time. Now switches sides.
Number 1 from Menominee, Luke Pepper.
Inside leg trip, just off the mat. Nice takedown. If they would have had some wrestling mat left, Weidman would have got that one. 30 seconds remaining. Weidman on top, 3-1. Rhode with a bad shot in. Weidman catches him, stops him easy. Warning, stalling Weidman, and Rhode gets to a double leg, but Rhode was out of bounds first. 6 seconds left. 3-1 Weidman. Weidman can afford to give the stalling call. 3-1 Weidman hangs on with a win on one leg. Weidman advances to the quarterfinals. And he'll take on probably the number 1 ranked wrestler, Charlie Millard, out of Homestead. We'll bring you more Lincoln High School Red Raider Wrestling when we return to the Kohl Center. 175 first round matchup for your Red Raider, Mark Jesy, the senior. Jesy is 37-11, excuse me, as a senior. Takes on the number 3 seed, Benjamin Ott out of Nicolay. 53-3 and a senior. Tough matchup for Jesy. Ott ranked number 2 in the state before this tournament, and Ott's in on a single leg. Jesy turns the corner and gives up the takedown as Ott lifts him, takes him to the mat. The good thing in this, if Jesy goes down to defeat, more than likely Ott's going to advance his next round matchup. So that'll give Jesy a wrestleback as Jesy comes to his feet, and they were off the mat before the escape occurred. Oh, they gave him the 1. 2-1 Ott. Ott extremely good. Russian arm tie now by the Red Raider, Jesy. Jab attempt. Ott steps right in front of him, turns the face. Charlie Millard out of Homestead, the number 1 seed and nationally ranked wrestler, will be Bennett Weidman's opponent in the quarterfinals. Arm tie by Jesy, hard collar, snap down attempt by Ott. And they work out of bounds. Still a 2-1, Ott with a lead. Ott with a shot straight in, got to a single. Jesy gives up the takedown, it's 4-1. Ott shot from kind of a long ways out, but got there. Came straight in. 41 seconds left, first period. And Ott will elect to ride, try to turn Jesy. Claw ride now by the Nicolay Knight wrestler. Jesy trying to put a foot down on the mat. Ott now working on an arm bar on the right hand side, trying to run it around the corner. And end of 1 period. 4-1, Ben Ott out of Nicolay. Jesy's choice, he deferred. Ott's choice, he's going to go down. Ott placed last year in the individual state tournament. Ott up to a stance on his feet with a wizard. Jesy dropped to a single, but Ott fights that down. Off the mat they work as Ott forced Jesy backwards off the mat. 5-1, Ott with a lead. Jesy with a Russian arm tied, trying to pin it down towards the mat. Now got it wrapped up in that 90-degree tie. Jab attempt, arm gets fought free by Ott, and he backs off. Going to reload. Ott with another dead-on shot, blast right through him. Jesy wasn't ready for that one. 7-1 now, Ott leads. Minute 12 left yet, second period.
On match 6 from St. Croix Falls, and they are Washington versus Riley Simpson of Hudson. And on match number 4 from Brilliant, Sophia Nala versus Adriana Smith of Random Lake.
Ott has a leg lace in here, and he's got a deep, tight waist. Now Jesy builds to a higher base. Jesy trying to pick that hand off the back of the head. Jesy to a base now. Got 35 seconds left. Got that ankle bite in by Ott, and that's slowing down Jesy's attempt from the bottom. Hard crossface now by the Nicolay wrestler, warning stalling Jesy. First one on the Red Raider. Again, this is a really tough matchup here for Mark Jesy, the senior. Good news is, though, Ott probably the odds-on favorite to win his next match if he beats Jesy here. And Jesy would get a Wrestleback in the backside where he could go all the way back to third place. Jesy's choice, he goes down to start the third period, trailing 7-1. Ott will ride on top on the right-hand side. Not much of a start by Jesy, and Ott was waiting for him to do something. Neither one of them did much on a restart. Jesy trying to pin a leg down on the mat. Ott riding really hard across the high side to shoulders. Claw ride now. A lot of pressure down from Ott on top. Now Jesy stands up. Ott lifts, takes him back to the mat. 1:25 left yet. Third period, 7-1. Ott from Nicolay with a lead. Crossface now by Ott. Jesy's trying to get some hand control and that hand over his shoulder. Ott again with a crossface. Trying to get to a barbed wire. Can't do that. Jesy starts coming up. Warning, stalling. Jesy, 1 point. Ott, it's now 8-1. Arm bar on the right side. Jesy trying to control one of the hands underneath. And arm bar on the right hand side by Ott. 30 seconds.
Wrestling event number 6 from Wisconsin Luther is the quarterfinal against Amelia Opolski of Newfoundland West Eisenhower.
Now Ott's got the hand pulled out across the bat, sitting up on top. You know, pull him into his left or switch his once.
Jesy trying to kick his legs free. Now he's got him free. See if we can build up from here. 8 seconds left. And we're going to get one more restart. 2 seconds left. Benjamin Ott going to have an 8-1 win over Mark Jesy of Wisconsin Rapids. Now, Jesy's got to become Ott's biggest fan here, as he wants Ott to win his next match. That will be against the winner of Riker Morgan of Muskego or Owen Griesbach of Marshfield. We'll bring you the 190-pound matchup with Kyler Tritz and Aiden Needham when we return. Kyler Tritz on the mat now, 190 pounds, the number 3 seed in the bracket, taking on Aiden Needham out of Hortonville. Needham is a senior, 33-7. Tritz, your junior, 39-5. Tritz was ranked 3rd in the state before the sectional tournament started. Shot inside, headlock by Tritz. Needham fought that off. Barrel roll attempt by Tritz. Lost that grip on the elbow, and we're back to neutral. And Needham shot in when Tritz was messing with his headgear. And they're out of bounds. Pretty big physical wrestler from Hortonville is Needham. Collar tie by Needham. Tritz with elbow control. Barrel roll attempt again. Can't get it. Back up neutral. Needham with a front headlock on Tritz. Tritz struck that on by. Comes up neutral again. Needham working on hand taps to the head. And they work off the mat. Tritz, Needham, 38 seconds left, first period. 0-0 the score. Both wrestlers kind of not real aggressive here on offense. Tritz with a couple of barrel rolls, missed them, duck attempt. Needham hung right on, ankle pick by Needham. Tritz with a whizzer. Back trip, try to get to a single, couldn't quite get there. 0-0 after one. Needham, big thick chested guy. Needham's choice He defers Tritz's choice. He goes down. Tritz set on the bottom. Needham covers. Tritz to his feet. Needham with a double now. Tritz rolls him through the backside. Can he come out on top? He's got two in a reversal and near fall coming. Tritz has got to settle in here. Long time in this period. 1:33 left. Lifts the head of Needham nearest flat. And Needham able to get stomach down. 3 near fall, 5-0 the lead for the Red Raider. 11th hour move, but it worked for Tritz. He got hung there for an instant, but still fought through it. Tritz now with a ride on top, leading 5-0 with 1:05 left, trying to hip him over with a legs ride on this near side. Right below us, the best mat we can have as far as coverage. Right below us in the Kohl Center, mat number 1. Stalemate the call, fair call there. 50 seconds remaining. Second period, Tritz on top. Needham gets set on the bottom. Cradle attempt, locked up near side. Tritz got near fall coming as long as he don't lose control here. Still has the cradle locked up, trying to walk her Tritz cradle up.
Against McCoy Smith from Waikiki. And on that number 4 from Lady Smith, Adriana Durr against Josie.
10 seconds remaining. Needham tried to reach back. Tritz hipped him right over. Reached back, grabbed the head. Couldn't quite keep him on his back. 8-0 the lead. Needham's choice. They're going on their feet. Tritz now got to wrestle a smart third period. Again, Needham is the 14th ranked wrestler in the, seeded wrestler. Tritz the number 3rd seeded wrestler. Barrel roll takedown attempt stopped by Needham. Can't hang around down here though.
Winner of that 6 girls, 138 pounds from Black River Falls, Riley Amber.
Hard whizzer attempt. Needham comes up, puts him in a front headlock. Trying to toss him. Tritz tried to reach back, grab a head for a cheap headlock, but Needham puts him out in front of him. It's now 9-2, 1:10 left.
Wrestling up at number 6 from Badger, Carly Tesch against Gianni Beaver.
Ankle trip as Tritz's feet just stayed still. 10-4 right now. And Needham shoots in again. Gets to a half now. 2% toss. Takes Tritz over. Tritz is in deep trouble. Tritz is pinned. Unbelievable. Tritz gets pinned in the third period after leading 10-2. Now, Tritz will have to hope Needham can beat the winner of Thomas Riley or Reed Falk out of Middleton in order for Tritz to get a Wrestleback. We'll be back with the 285-pound matchup. Tanner Gormanson and Ethan McLean. Quarterfinal matchups are starting immediately here. Degan Armagost at 106 pounds, 39-8 of freshmen is taking on Gavin Walters of Hartford Union, 41-7, a sophomore. Yet to come is Tanner Gormanson in his matchup But since this matchup came up first, we'll cover this one for you. All the way at the far side of the Kohl Center floor. Slide by Walters, gets a takedown. Just more physical on the start than Armagost. Armagost to his feet, gets the 1 point escape. Back to neutral. Again, this is quarterfinal matchups. At 106 pounds. Armagost, the number 3 seed. Walters, the number 6 seed.
Winner of match 3, 285 pounds. From Kakama.
Low single leg right at the heel by Walters. Trying to Polish double this and come out the backside. Armagost up over the shoulders. Armagost still in the scramble yet, hanging onto a leg on the backside. Walters in a sitting position, and they call that a stalemate. Good call for the Red Raiders there. Walters back set, ready to go. Armagost comes in too. 20 seconds left. Slide by, missed by Walters. Again, he's the guy that's a little bit on the offense here. Another low shot right at the back of the heel. To take down Walters. Armagost back to his feet. 10-0 on the board. 4-1 the lead for Walters after one period.
Winner of match 5, 106 pounds. Union Road, Camden, Brother.
Armagost going down to start the second period. Now to his feet. Working on hands, tried to hit a switch on the way down. Walters too strong for that. Now he cuts him loose. But he's got wrist control. Now they break apart. 4-2. Armagost trails. Armagost with a shot from too far out. But he crawled into a hip. Walters fighting him off, getting back to neutral on their feet. Walters in with an ankle pick. With arm tie, takes Armagost down. And he's got 2 near fall laying there. Big takedown there for Walters. He's up 8-2 right now. Red Raiders, for the majority of the matches, struggled here in this tournament. Tanner Gormanson set to go at heavyweight. He's taking on Ethan McLean out of Kenosha Bradford, who's a senior, 42-5. Gormanson's a junior, 35-9. 8-3 now as Armagost back on his feet. And Walters just runs him right out forward. Pressure all the time by Walters.
Wrestling on mat number 2 from Beaumont Union, William Duchenne versus Landon Freeman from Monaco.
Walters got behind the slide by. Front trip. No takedown yet. Armagost now with an ankle pick put on him gets taken down again. It's 10-3. 10 seconds left. Second period. And they're going to let him get back to his feet, cut him loose. 10-4. Little short drag and off the mat they go as time runs out. Gormanson with a front arm drag. And his opponent flying off the mat. in McLean. McLean runs right back into a collar tie. On their feet to start the third period. 10-4. Walters of Hartford. Walters again. Armagost's feet get stuck in the mat here, and with that head pressure. Gormanson. Body lock coming. Fighting for hip position. Gormanson gets put on his back. Tanner Gormanson gets pinned in the first period at 285 by Ethan McLean.
We need the 106-pounder from Jefferson to report to the weigh-in area immediately.
And we're back to the 106-pound matchup. 10-4, minute 15 left.
Winner on mat 8, 285 pounds from Kenosha Bradford.
If Armagost loses this match, he goes to the Wrestleback side where he can finish as high as third. But being the number 3 seed in this bracket,
Girls 145 pounds, mat 6.
a little bit of an upset here. Shot with not much power behind it by the Red Raider, and Walters just stands him back up. Warning, stalling. Walters is now 10-4. As he's content just a collar tie, now shoots in on inside single. And again, he's taking the initiative. Armagost is trying to play catch up all the time. And Armagost on the seat of his singlet one more time. 10 seconds left in the match. 7 seconds left, one restart. Walters dives down on an ankle, safe place to be down there. And Armagost goes down 10-4. He will have a Wrestleback. That'll be tomorrow. He'll take on Bryson Buesler out of Watertown. Red Raiders done through the first round now, and starting the second round as Degan Armagost goes down to Walters. Quick update at 285. Jackson Lenzendorf out of Wanakee pinned Evan Held, and Ethan McLean of Kenosha Bradford also pinned Tanner Gormanson at 285. 100 and if I can get to my paperwork here, 120-pound matchup will be coming up shortly. We'll bring you that when we return to the Kohl Center in Madison. Back now at the Kohl Center, 126-pound quarterfinal match. Carter Freeman, number 1 seed in the bracket, taking on Noah Maltzahn from Hudson, 47-10, and a senior. Hudson, another one of the teams that were ranked late in the year in the top 10 in Wisconsin Grappler. So we'll see how Freeman attacks Maltzahn here. Freeman staying low in attack position. Collar tie now with Maltzahn. Tried a little quick duck. Maltzahn sidestepped that pretty easy. Both wrestlers with a big leg sleeve on.
Mat 7 features New Richmond's Luke Camish versus Noah Schema of Holmesville.
1 minute gone, 1 minute left, first period. Still no score. Freeman would have shot in, but Maltzahn just able to hang on to that wrist that he took a shot with. A lot of hand fighting, collar ties, wrist ties. 30 seconds.
Winner, Mat 6 girls, 145 pounds from Turner, Sydney Andrews.
Wrestling at number 3 from Porterville, Tesch versus Andrew Barley of Franklin.
Counting down from 10 seconds, first period. Both wrestlers being pretty cautious here in the first period. A couple of slide bys missed by Moltson. And a 1-0-0. The disc comes up green, Moltson's choice. He's going to go down. Freeman's going to have to try to turn and ride. Moltson got to his feet. Freeman with a nice tight waist and elbow control takes him off his base. Claw ride now by the Red Raider. Around the corner he goes, takes him off his feet. Moltson up to our feet again one more time. Freeman's got to cut him loose. 1 point in the escape. Moltson with a lead. Freeman will have the choice to go down in the third period if he so chooses. Moltson with a shot, short drag, underarm toss by Moltson. Stalemate. 56 seconds left. Both wrestlers on their feet being really cautious here. 45 seconds left. Moltson 1-0. Second period. Warning, stalling Freeman, says the official. 30 seconds. Freeman with a shot and comes to a double. Lifts him high. Takes him down. Leads 2-1. Lightning quick shot by Carter Freeman. 13 seconds left. 2-1. Freeman with a lead. Moltson about a half head taller than Freeman. Longer, lankier guy here at 126 pounds. Ankle picked by the Red Raider. Front trip. Takes Moltson back to the mat. 5 seconds left. Hard, tight waist, driving with shoulder pressure across the back. End of the period is here. 2-1 Freeman. And he's going to choose down. That was a huge takedown at the end of the second period with 12 seconds left.
Again, can we get a coach from West Bend West to report to
Freeman now on the bottom.
a coach from West Bend.
Easily to his feet. Moltson with a lift. Takes him back to the mat. Freeman back up on his feet one more time, and now they're off the mat. .11 seconds gone, third period. Freeman to a high base, now comes to his feet. Moltson cuts him loose. 3-1 the lead for the Red Raider. Remember now, Freeman's been hit once for a warning stalling for supposedly backing off the mat. Minute and a half left. One good solid takedown by Freeman into the single leg again. Freeman trying to pull Moltson back inside the circle. Moltson trying to stay outside, and they got blood time on Freeman. Freeman's first match was against Grady Gallagher out of De Pere, a freshman, 23-20. Freeman took him down, pinned him in 1 minute. Moltzon's match, he defeated Torin Cookhanen out of Waukesha West, 15-7. That's the first round matchups of both wrestlers. In the other quarterfinal in this top half, you got Cash Botting of Hortonville taking on Matthew Barley out of Franklin. Easton Cooper at E.C. Everest in the very bottom side of the bracket. He beat Ryland Smith out of Nicolay in his first match, 10-0, and now he's wrestling Emmett Becker out of Slinger and leads that match. Low shot at the ankle by Freeman. Got a minute left. Can he complete it? Inside leg catch. In the scramble we are here. Moltzon trying to rock across his back, trying to lift Freeman. Stalemate. Freeman able to catch a leg in the blood time on Freeman again. Changing out the nose plug there and cleaning Freeman up here a little bit. Bennett Weidman in the quarterfinals against Charlie Millard out of Holmstead, nationally ranked wrestler. And they're cleaning up Freeman. Got him all cleaned up, ready to go again. And now there's some blood on the headgear someplace. Right on the chin strap. We're going to be both on our feet. 44 seconds left. Freeman 3-1 the lead. Two fairly evenly matched wrestlers here. This will be a close 44 seconds. Slide by, miss by Moltzon. Around the corner we go. Moltzon to a single. Freeman trying to stretch that back out. Whizzer comes up back to neutral again. Moltzon with an underhook. 20 seconds left. Freeman down low again, comes out the backside. Moltzon locking up. At an ankle, and we got a stalemate, 6 seconds left. And Carter Freeman again with the nosebleed going. Once those start, any opening, cut, nosebleed, once they start, it's a hard thing to keep getting stopped because your blood is pumping. You're doing a heck of a lot of physical work, so your blood is pumping hard, and it's sometimes just hard to get cleaned up and stopped. New nose plug in, a little wipe job here, and here we go. Final 6 seconds. Freeman, Moltzon. Warning, stalling Freeman, 1 point Moltzon. And they finally started the clock. After about 6 seconds went by, Freeman with a win. He's in the semifinals. 3-1. Carter Freeman in the semis against either Cash Botting or Matthew Barley. We'll give you his updated opponent when we return. One more Lincoln High School Red Raider Wrestling. Back at the Kohl Center for day one wrap-up here. The Red Raiders have a tough day in the individual state wrestling tournament. Degan Armagost won his first round matchup against Anthony Strong of Brown Deer, 9-4. Lost his second match to Gavin Walters of Hartford, 10-4. but he was able to get a wrestle back when Walters won his next match. He will wrestle back Bryson Boosler out of Watertown, freshman, 39-7. Landon Freeman at 120 lost to Lincoln Flater out of Hartford Union, 17-1 on a tech fall. Flater won his next round matchup, so Landon Freeman gets a wrestle back against Cale Zielinski out of Muskego, a junior, 44-4. At 126 pounds, Carter Freeman in the semifinals for the Red Raiders. He beat on a pin Grady Gallagher from De Pere, then put away Hudson's Noah Molson 3-1. In the semis, he's got Cash Botting, a sophomore from Hortonville, 40-9. Bennett Weidman won his first round match against Marshfield's Graydon Rohde, 3-1. Comes back in the quarterfinals after he had hurt his knee in that Rohde match with a match against Charlie Millard, number 1 ranked wrestler in the state. Medical forfeited to him, figuring Millard would get a win in his next matchup, which Millard did. So Bennett Weidman scheduled to go on the wrestlebacks against Mason Drought out of Muskego, 21-17, and a junior. 175-pounder Mark Jesy lost his first round matchup to Nicolas Ben Ott, 8-1. Ott was able to go on and get his next round win. He's in the semifinals, so that moves Jesy to the wrestleback side. He's got Marshfield's Owen Griesbach, a junior, 37-3. Kyler Tritz got upset in his first round matchup, was ahead big, and then ran out of gas, it looked like, and just got pinned by Aiden Needham out of Hortonville. Needham lost his next round match. That knocks Tritz out of the tournament as Needham gets a wrestle back. 285-pounder Tanner Gormanson got pinned in his first round matchup against Ethan McLean out of Kenosha Bradford. And McLean got beat in his next round matchup. McLean gets the wrestle back. Gormanson gets knocked out of the tournament. 1 Red Raider in the championship side, a few more in the backside wrestling. We'll bring you that action when we return to the Kohl Center in Madison for day number 2 of the individual state wrestling tournament. Back now, day number 2 of the WIAA individual state wrestling tournament from the Kohl Center in the University of Wisconsin-Madison. The Red Raiders have Degan Armagost at 106 pounds in a wrestleback round against Bryson Buesler out of Watertown. Buesler is a freshman, 39-7. Armagost will be one of the first matches out. Landon Freeman at 120 will be in a wrestleback against Cale Zielinski out of Muskego. He's a junior, 44-4. Carter Freeman, the only Red Raider in the championship side of the bracket, left out of the 7 coming down here. He's in the semifinals against Cash Botting out of Hortonville. 40-9 is his record. He's a sophomore. Bennett Weidman at 157 in a wrestleback match against Mason Drought out of Muskego, who's a junior at 21-17. 175-pounder Mark Jesy in a wrestleback against Owen Griesbach out of Marshfield, 37-3. And the junior is Griesbach. Kyler Tritz knocked out yesterday, and Tanner Gormanson knocked out yesterday at 190, 285 respectively. Here we go with Degan Armagost and Bryson Buesler out of Watertown. Red Raiders need to start off things in a better way than they did yesterday. They came out and went 4-6 on the day. 4 wins, 6 losses. And a couple of upsets along the way. So looking for a better start and a better flow of momentum here in the wrestleback side. You can wrestle back all the way back up to 3rd position. Underhook by Buesler. Underhook toss attempt by Armagost. And they work their way off the mat one more time. Buesler was the 11th seed. Armagost was the 3rd seed. Underhook again, near side single, trying to get to a double body lock. Launching pad is loaded. And Armagost gives up the takedown. just couldn't muscle his way back to getting to neutral. Cradle attempt. End of the first period. Now, you might say that was pretty quick. The Wrestlebacks are 1 minute first period, 2 minutes each, the second and the third. So you have a short first period. Scoring is at a premium there. Armagost will ride starting the second period, trailing 2-0. Caution on Buechler, jumping to start. No points for the first one. Buechler set, Armagost covers. One thing the smaller Red Raiders lack is strength and power. Pretty good wrestlers, technique-wise, just can't fight through some of those tough spots. Like you just saw Buechler with a body lock there. Now Buechler's planting that right side elbow in the mat, and Armagost can't pull it back. Now he finally chops it down. See if we can go to work here. Two-on-one, trying to force the arm back of Buechler, and he just steps right out in front. He's got a 3-0 lead. Now Buechler defensing, backing up around the mat. Back to the center we get with a restart. Takedown attempt. Ankle pick by Buechler. Takes down Armagost. Buechler with an arm bar, trying to run that around the corner. Armagost plants a foot, helps him stand right up. Potentially dangerous to go off the mat. .49 seconds left, second period. It's 5-0 Buechler. Big hole for Armagost. He's got to look for something big and get this match closer. Front trip off a tight waist and a leg pick. Armagost back to a high base again, now gets taken back down. Buechler really aggressive on top, running at half on the left-hand side. Loser of this match is done wrestling. Potentially dangerous again the second time. Oh, Buechler got away with a caution again for jumping to start because he pulled his hand off, went to a tight waist before the official blew his whistle. Armagost still fighting up to his feet. Buechler picks a leg, front trip, takes him back to the mat with a tight waist. And they are off. Second period gone, 2 minutes left. Now they look at the coaching staff and they put Armagost on his feet. He couldn't get away on the bottom, so they put him on his feet now. Couldn't hold Buechler. And again, Buechler's the guy starting the action, shoots in near side single. Armagost turns his hips. They're going to cut him, go to work on their feet. It's going to be 6-2. Yeah, but Buechler shoots in. Trying to elevate the single leg. Trying to come out the backside out of the Polish double now. And we're running a lot of clock here. Stalemate. That burned off a lot of clock. 1:18 left. And it's still 6-2. Buechler. Armagost got a score in bunches, arm drag. Buechler just runs him right over into a single. Buechler gets a takedown. It's now 10-2. Armagost is just behind and lacking power. Buechler just run him over.
And the winner of Mat 1, Division 1, 113 pounds from 2 here, Beckett.
30 seconds left. Front headlock by Buessler again. Good position to run some time, burn some clock. Armagost can't get out of there. Stalemate. Good call for the Red Raiders. "15 seconds left. Buessler back down in there on a shot again. Again, Armagost reacting and not being the leader on the mat here, going after the initiator. And Buessler's going to hang on down there. End of the match. Buessler 8-3 over Armagost. Armagost knocked out of the individual tournament. Next up, Landon Freeman on the mat now. One match over, taking on Cale Zielinski out of Muskego.
The winner on mat 3, Division 1, 106 pounds, from Watertown, Bryson.
Freeman leads or trails 3-2 now to Zielinski. 25 seconds left, first period. Zielinski pretty physical. Flurry of action going on here. Now he comes up with a hand control and then they break apart. 10 seconds left.
Winner on mat 2, 113 pounds, from Menominee, Bailey Casey.
End of period number 1. Again, it's a 1-minute first period. 2 minutes each, the second and the third. Green's choice, that's Armagost's color, he's going down, or excuse me, Freeman's color, he's going down. This is a 120 Wrestleback matchup. Again, you lose this round, you are done. And Zielinski able to get the escape, take a 4-2 lead, minute 45 left, second period. Bad shot by Zielinski, reshot, trying to come around the corner with an overhook. Snap down by Zielinski into a front chin lock, almost had a cradle from the front. He's got an underhook, trying to get to a trip. Hip toss by Freeman. Wizard now as Zielinski hangs back on him. Off the mat, potentially dangerous. Again, Zielinski very physical. He'll fly around the mat from every position, throwing hips and arms and elbows. Zielinski was shot too far out. Capitalize on it. Get around the corner, Landon. Couldn't do it. Bad shot by Zielinski. Was flat on his stomach with his face in the mat. Freeman couldn't capitalize. Sweep shot from a long way out again. Underhook with a toss. Now into a single leg on the near side is Zielinski. Trip attempt. Freeman's going to try to counter here. He's got to get his leg free though. He's got the leg scissored so the hips aren't square. That's a good thing. Is he going to have enough time? 15 seconds left yet. And Zielinski able to come back out now in a Polish double. Scramble attempt, and Zielinski gets the takedown. 6-2 at the end of the second period. Zielinski of Muskego leads. Freeman's choice, he's going down. Base off on the start by Freeman. Freeman now to his feet. Tight waist. Freeman comes out the face. Wizard toss by Zielinski. Freeman still hasn't gotten to one as Zielinski has still got his hand wrapped around the back. Headlock, bad attempt at a headlock there. Gives Zielinski control again. 6-2 with a minute 22 left. Coffee grinder on this near side. Head in the armpit, pulling back on the same side wrist. Works that into a bar. Cradle attempt. Freeman's got to get some hand control here. Separated the hands, but still, Zielinski back trips him. Tight waist and wrist control by Zielinski. He's got 50 seconds left to ride out Freeman. Freeman is down by 4. Freeman trying to pin a foot down on the mat. Just a tight waist and wrist control by Zielinski takes Freeman off his base down to his stomach. Now he's got a bar, going to run that. And stops that for potentially dangerous. Again, second match in a row. Too much strength by the opponent and power, the lack thereof, on the Red Raider side. 18 seconds left. It's possible. Forward roll coming. Zielinski knew that. End of the match is there. 6-2. Zielinski knocks out Freeman at 120 pounds. Freeman is done at 120. Next up will be Bennett Weidman at 157 against Mason Drought out of Muskego. We'll bring you that match when we come back to the Kohl Center in Madison. 157-pound Wrestleback in the WIAA Individual State Wrestling Tournament. Your Red Raider, Bennett Weidman, taking on Mason Drought out of Muskego. 21-17 is Drought's record. Bennett Weidman beat Graydon Road out of Marshfield 3-1 in his first round match. Lost on a medical forfeit to Charlie Millard of Homestead, as Weidman has had injuries here. Last week he dislocated a kneecap. This weekend dislocated the other kneecap in the match against Road, where he just gutted it out, wrestled on one leg and won 3-1. Besides that, throwing a shoulder injury as well. We got the takedown to start with, leading 2-0. The winner of this match will take on the winner of Elijah Terrell of the Slinger, who's a junior, and Bryson Kundinger of Verona area. Weidman with a bar on the left side, but lost that bar grip. Now chops that arm out the backside, puts it in a bar. The quicker Weidman could get off the mat, the better it would be. And end of the first period. Again, a 1-minute first period, 2 minutes each the second and the third. A flip disc comes up red. That is Drought's choice. He deferred. Weidman is going to choose down, convincing himself how this is going to hurt with those dislocated kneecaps. I want to talk about a tough guy here. This is Tough Rapids Wrestling right here in front of your eyes. Weidman came back last week, and as he gets the reversal, catches Drought on his back, and he squeezes him up and pin him down here. The referee a little slow, getting to a good advantage point. Weidman catches a half. Lost the arm, though. Near fall coming. There are 2 on the board. He's ahead 6-0 now. Drought somehow able to noodle his arm out of that half. He just wiggled it a little bit and it came out. I don't know how that happened, but that was pretty slick for him. Weidman again riding hard on top. Barbed wire now. Trying to step out, running around the head. Here we go. Near fall coming again. Going to try and squeeze him up flat here. A lot of chest and shoulder pressure. Switches it off, loses the barbed wire grip, comes back to a conventional ride. 3-0. On a near fall cradle attempt now. Weidman up 9-0, 55 seconds left. Trout hanging on to a wrist and got nailed for a stalling call underneath. Weidman couldn't get his hands out. Trout just locked him up underneath. Arm pinned across the body again on the left-hand side, crossed his back. See what Weidman wants to do with it. He can baseball it across, which he's doing now. Expose the shoulder, bring it up. 30 seconds left. Now he just fires a half, runs him over the top. This is pretty tight here. Pin for Weidman. 2:39 on the fall time, excuse me. Pin time for Weidman. He will go into another Wrestleback match. That will be, as I had mentioned, the winner between Elijah Carroll, a Slinger, or Bryson Kundinger of Verona area. We'll wait for that result. We'll give you more updates. And we got the Mark Jesy 175-pound Wrestleback to come. Back now in the Wrestleback round of the WIAA Individual State Wrestling Championship. 175-pound Red Raider Mark Jesy in the Wrestleback side against a tough Marshfield opponent, Owen Griesbach. Griesbach is 37-3, a junior. He was seeded 6th. Jesy was seeded 14th. Little history here. Not good for Jesy, though, on the history side of it. Griesbach beat Mark Jesy 12-1 in the conference championship match. So we'll see how this match goes. We're in a very opposite corner, 8 mats long on the floor of the Kohl Center, and we're in the very farthest one as Griesbach in on a shot and a takedown on Jesy. Again, 1 minute first period, so you got a limited time to score here. Tight waist and a wrist combo. Griesbach just covering the hips. Jesy got to get his knees back under him. Build a base. "12 seconds left. Now Jesy with a base. Trying to come out. Griesbach with a tight waist. And just covering with the hips. That's all he's done so far. End of 1 period, 2-0, Jesy trails. This comes up Griesbach's color. And he defers his choice. Jesy will take the bottom. Got to have a better result from the bottom than he did with the last 30 seconds of the first period. Again, Griesbach able to stop the first move of the Red Raider. Win this match, you advance. Lose this match, you're done in the individual side. Bottom half of the bracket is Brady Springers of Kaukauna and Jacob Mamper of Germantown.
The winner of that 4 girls 120 pounds lacrosse, Logan Central, Amelia Adams.
Jesy still on his stomach. Can't get off his belly here.
65 pounds, the winner from South Milwaukee, Connor O'Donnell.
And Jesy was hit with a warning stalling. And again, you're going to get hit with those stalling calls if you don't pick your head up. And now Griesbach got one for warning stalling. Again, Jesy can't allow himself to get off his base here. Griesbach just tight waists him off his base and has him flat on the mat. Just for a blink of an eye, Jesy able to get to his base, and then Griesbach takes him right back off again. Armbar on the left side of Jesy. Head stuck right in the base of the neck by Griesbach, getting pressure down. Jesy trying to come up now. And the end of the second period, wasted a lot of time there. Griesbach's choice, he's going down, leading 2-0. Jesy now covers on this near left side. Griesbach fighting hand control. He just stands right up, walks right away from Jesy. He's ahead 3-0. Again, Griesbach with a shot in, got there. Just a little too quick for the Red Raider. Polish double trying to come up the backside. Jesy trying to counter. And he can't any longer. Griesbach with a takedown. 5-0. Minute 25 left. And we're in the same position. Griesbach with a tight waist. Just covering the hips. Jesy not able to get his chest and stomach off the mat. Referee having a conversation with the wrestlers. Ankle picked by Griesbach. And we're at 35 seconds. Jesy not able to get his chest off the mat. Got one stalling call, 6-1 now, Jesy trails. Again, Griesbach not able to do anything on top. He stays straight in line parallel and recovers the hips with a tight waist. Jesy laying there with his chest on the mat. Not able to get off the bottom. Normally not the case for Jesy. Hip tip coming. Quick couple of near fall points. And that's going to lock the match up for Griesbach. Griesbach 9-1 knocks out Mark Jesy of the individual tournament. And the Red Raiders keep dropping like flies here, unfortunately. No other Wrestlebacks in this round. 190 Kyler Tritz knocked out yesterday in an upset. 285-pounder Tanner Gormanson knocked out yesterday as well. Championship match later on tonight at 126, Carter Freeman against Cash Botting out of Hortonville. That'll be a good one. The bottom side of that bracket, Easton Cooper, D.C. Everest takes on Turner Campbell out of Holman, all familiar opponents for Freeman. We'll be back with more of the individual state wrestling tournament from the Kohl Center in Madison. Back now to WIAA individual state wrestling tournament. Wrestleback side. Bennett Weidman at 157 pounds against Elijah Terrell out of Slinger. Terrell's a junior, 36-8. Weidman, your senior. Weidman wrestling through 3 injuries at the same time. 2 dislocated kneecaps and a shoulder injury. This is the top half of the bracket wrestling here. Weidman needs to win this match in order to be on the podium at Madison. And we had 2 takedown, I guess, at the edge of the mat for Terrell. Weidman on the bottom now, starts with a stand up, worked his way cautiously up to his feet. Terrell trying to get to a cradle. Weidman around the corner, trying to catch a leg here. Weidman now back to his feet one more time, trying a little cutback into the wrestler, but they're out of bounds. The winner of this match goes into a top 6 wrestling bracket, and they will take on the loser out of a quarterfinal bracket, or excuse me, a semifinal bracket of Roman Galmatico and Dominio Campolini. Campolini's the one that sectional finals that Weidman was wrestling when he dislocated one of his kneecaps. 2-1, Weidman trails. Terrell's choice, he deferred. Weidman takes the bottom. Gonna try to tie it with the escape. Weidman comes up, cuts back. Got Terrell on his back. Can he catch a half? He's got it reversed. And got near fall coming, got a half. Switches that over, steps over the body for a headlock. Terrell able to get stomach down. 3, near fall. Weidman is up now, 5-2. Weidman now working on the left hand wrist, trying to pull it back. Get to an underbar. Terrell now builds to a base, but then Weidman flattens him right back on his chest. Weidman's got the left hand arm pinned across the back. He can baseball it, which would be basically driving it across the back, which he's trying to do now. Put a bar in there. Come around the front underneath that far side arm and grab the wrist. Lock up a farmer, as the Red Raiders call it. Weidman with 1 minute and 40 seconds left, yet still riding here. Warning, stalling on Terrell on the bottom. Weidman with the arm pinned on the back again, one more time. Reaching through, tried to get to a farmer, but couldn't quite get through far enough. Arm bar on that left-hand side one more time. Terrell, Ken Harley finally gets to a base, kicks over the top. Weidman recovers the ride, puts him back on his base one more time. Hip tip now by the Red Raider, can't quite get there. End of the period, 5-2, Terrell's choice. Weidman with a lead. Terrell chooses on his feet. Weidman fixes the knee braces just temporarily there. Terrell in on a single leg shot instantly. Takes down Weidman. Weidman not ready for that shot. It's now 5-4. Weidman now to his feet. Terrell cuts him loose, 6-4. Terrell reaches in on a shot again. Weidman with a hard whizzer. Turns to face him. Weidman outside the circle. Terrell with his knees on the line temporarily. Trying to pull Weidman back towards the center. Weidman counters. Has both arms locked up, and Terrell crawls out of bounds. Back to the center we go. 1:23 left. 6-4 Weidman with a lead. Weidman trying to get to a Russian. Terrell steps in with a leg trip. Terrell trying to get the takedown on the edge of the mat. Pulls Weidman in. Switch attempt by Weidman. Weidman's got a leg in a scramble trying to come out the backside. Terrell trying to flip him over the top. We got a scramble going here. Weidman coming out the backside. Terrell still hanging on to a leg. We got wild action on mat number 4 here to take down Weidman. 8-4 the lead now, 32 seconds left. Weidman able to ride Terrell really well, so he should be able to grind out some time on the clock here. He's got his left arm pinned behind his back. Terrell flat on his chest. Chin drop coming. Terrell sits up. Weidman pulled him back, regains the ride. 5 seconds left. Weidman's going to go on to win. He's going to place in the individual state tournament. It's just a matter how far up the ladder he can climb. He can get as high as 3rd or finish as low as 6th. Nice job for the Red Raider Weidman. Good sportsmanship as well. Helps Terrell to his feet. We'll be back with more Lincoln High School Red Raider Wrestling semifinal action. Carter Freeman at 126. Back now at the semifinals of the WIAA Individual State Wrestling Tournament in Madison at the Kohl Center. Semifinal round, which a lot of people say is the best round of wrestling in the tournament. Your Red Raider Carter Freeman, 46-4 coming in. He's going to take on Cash Botting of Hortonville, 40-9, and a sophomore. Botting is the number 5 seed. Freeman the number 1 seed. Freeman went an underhook on that left-hand side. Trying to elevate, drop underneath. Russian arm tie now by the Red Raider. Botting with a shot. Freeman easily stopped that. Barrel roll attempt. They're off the mat. In the other side of the bracket, semifinals, Turner Campbell out of Holman against Easton Cooper out of EC Everest. Freeman with a takedown, leading 2-0 with 1:20 left. Freeman on top now, got the arm barbed wired up underneath. Great elbow control here for the Red Raider. He loses the grip on their arm, and we got blood time. And we'll see who it's on. Blood time on Carter Freeman. Freeman's tournament looks like this. First round, he took out Grady Gallagher, who was 23-20, a freshman out of De Pere. Got him a pin in a minute. Next up, quarterfinals, he wrestled Noah Moltzon out of Hudson, 47-10 coming in, a senior. Won that match 3-1. This match is Cash Botting out of Hortonville. Botting got here by beating Cole DeChateau out of Arrowhead 10-4. And then he beat Matthew Barley out of Franklin 7-3. They're going to put Botting back on his feet. 2-1 the lead for the Red Raider Freeman. Freeman is a good wrestler on his feet. He a lot of scrambles, a lot of speed, constant motion. Around the corner he goes, back trip into a body lock, takes him down. 4-1 the lead for the Red Raider right now. Just under a minute left, first period action. These matches in the championship side are again a regulation time, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes. Wrestleback sides, they go 1 minute. And then 2 minutes, 2 minutes. Forward roll attempt by Botting. Freeman sitting in the saddle pretty tight there. Can't get him off. 30 seconds left. Cradle by Freeman, one armed. Boddick trying to cut back on the inside, and they go off the mat. What do we got? Caution, nope. Off the mat, says the official. That was close. No near fall there. Still 4-1 your Red Raider. Boddick tried to turn back towards Freeman. Freeman slapped a cradle attempt on him, and Boddick says, I got to bail out of here. Arched his back, went flat to his stomach. "12 seconds remaining. And we got blood again. Little cleanup on both wrestlers here. 8 seconds remaining. 8 seconds, I do believe. Nope, 0. Time ran out. First period done, 4-1 to lead for your Red Raider Carter Freeman. Number 1 seeded wrestler in the bracket. Campbell of Holman leads 4-2 at the end of the first period in their match with Easton Cooper. Cooper had to get to the state tournament with a late 7-second takedown to the back. He was behind by a point. Caution, jumping to start. Freeman. No, excuse me, that was Boddick jumped to start. Boddick got to his feet. Freeman just cuts him loose. Back on their feet, 4-2. Duck attempt, stop. Underhook Freeman. Both wrestlers shot at the same time. Just like a pair of big rams banging heads. Barrel roll attempt by Boddick. Freeman counters. Easton Cooper now has Campbell on his back. Almost has him stuck. Turner able to turn the stomach down. 1:11 left, 4-2, they're on their feet, second period action. Slide by Freeman. Just flattens Boddick to his face on the mat. Turner Campbell with a lead, 5-4. Minute left, second period, they're on their feet. Freeman now, claw ride for the Red Raiders. Arm tied up underneath at the wrist. Changes that to an elbow tie with a crossface. Freeman's got the start of a cradle with that crossface. You see him reach inside that knee when it comes up. Trying to lock up a cradle. Freeman again, turns body, getting near fall, counted. The referee at a distance looking. Freeman's able to hold him there. End of the period comes. 3 more near fall. 9-2 right now. Freeman's going down to start the third. At the end of 2 periods, Turner Campbell leads 5-4 out of Easton Cooper. Freeman on the move from the bottom up to his feet. Body locks up around the body, forward pressure. Freeman fights that off, looking on hand control. Boddick runs him right out of bounds. Nice forward roll, probably about a 9.2 on that as Freeman come up to his feet. Freeman's going to get set on the bottom one more time. See how long Boddick can hold him. Cooper and Campbell are tied at 5. Third period, they're on their feet. Boddick trails 10-2 now as Freeman with the escape. Now another takedown. It's 12-2. Carter Freeman in control of the entire match. 1:15 left. Spiral ride by the Red Raider. Now changing that to a claw ride. Forward roll by Boddick there out of bounds.
Wrestling on mat number 7 from Cumberland.
12-2. Major decision on the board for Carter Freeman.
Division 226 pounds from Brilliant, Bob Huntley.
And Boddick unable to get his waist off the mat. Freeman a lot of forward and downward pressure on the back of the shoulders. Roll attempt. Freeman steps over the top. Remains in control. They come to their feet. Freeman with an inside trip with the feet. Takes him back to the mat in control. Still with the claw ride. Boddick back up one more time. Freeman crushes him up, takes him right back to the mat. Freeman's got 12 seconds left. One hard start should be enough for Carter Freeman. Stop the first move of Boddick. Carter Freeman in the finals. 12-2. Demolishing Cash Boddick out of Hortonville.
Division 126 pounds from Wisconsin Rapids, Lincoln, Carter Freeman.
Carter Freeman in the finals for your Lincoln High School Red Raiders. And the match still 5-5 with 34 seconds left. Easton Cooper and Turner Campbell. That match you're watching right now will follow it for the final 22 seconds here. Cooper in on a deep shot. Campbell with a counter with a whizzer. Potentially dangerous, they stop it. Both wrestlers have had history with Carter Freeman. Last year in this tournament, Carter Freeman beat Easton Cooper. After Cooper beat Freeman twice during the year. We're going overtime, 5-5. We'll keep you updated. We'll take a break quick and we'll update you on the final matchups from the individual wrestling tournament in Madison. Back now, day 3 in the morning. Saturday morning in the Cole Center in Madison at the individual state wrestling tournament. Wrestleback action, 157 pounds. Bennett Weidman, 45-7, comes in to this match against Demanio Capolini, who is from Madison West. You may remember this match. This was the sectional finals where Weidman dislocated his kneecap during this match. And they put it back in on the mat. That's a painful injury. They put it back in on the mat. And Weidman basically wrestled with one leg. He lost in that match 5-4. A little bit of rematch, hopefully a little bit of payback here for the Red Raider. 157 Wrestleback. The winner of this match goes into a match for third. Weidman in on a single leg shot. But he's gotten stretched out underneath. Capolini breaks the grip. Weidman reloads again one more time. Coming up with it. Got an elevated dump technique. Couldn't quite clear him. Capolini front headlock. Picking a knee of Weidman's. Vulnerable spot for the Red Raider. Out of time to go. No takedown, no control. 1 minute first period in the Wrestleback side. 2 minutes each, the second and the third. Capolini chooses bottom. Weidman on top. Capellini with the 1-point escape. Weidman Russian arm tie. Capellini reached across, tried a knee pick. Weidman tried a leg pick. Capellini caught that and lifted it. Weidman's hanging on to that Russian arm tie to save some control. Now Capellini comes up. Weidman rolls through it. Capellini with a takedown. He leads 3-0. The loser of this match goes into a match for 5th and 6th. Off the mat they work. 1:22 left. Bennett Weidman trails by 3 in the bottom half of the bracket. Peyton Lee of Kaukauna is taking on Ryland Schneider out of Oshkosh West. Weidman with a stand-up. Capellini lifts, takes him back to the mat. Weidman trying to catch a roll, couldn't do that. Weidman has had both kneecaps dislocated. One last week, as I had mentioned, in the finals with the same wrestler. One earlier on Thursday in his first round matchup. And he has a shoulder injury as well. He's a hurting unit, but he's trying to tough things out as best as he can. 38 seconds left. Still 3-0. Capellini with an arm tied up with a tight waist and wrist control. And they go out of bounds. 22 seconds left. Again, the Red Raiders in the team tournament next weekend at the Fieldhouse in Madison. So that has to figure into some of the game planning, I guess. Weidman with the escape off a switch attempt. Had Capellini's hips flying around the mat. He's got one, 3-1 right now, with Capellini in on a double leg. To a single. Weidman gets taken down with 6 seconds left in the period. 5-1, Capellini. That may be a big lead to try to overcome. Weidman's choice. He's going down. Looked at the coaching staff, kind of said, well, I think I can go down and see if I can come out again. 2 minutes remaining in this match. Weidman to his feet in a hurry. Capellini lifts. Weidman right back up. Capellini lifts again. Weidman trying to hit a switch. Cut back on the way through. Missed both of them.
Can I get the head coach from East Troy to the control team? Head coach from East Troy.
Capellini's going to do all he can just to hang on. He's not looking for a pin necessarily. He's looking to just control and ride the period out. Off the mat they work. 132.
Winner on mat 4, girls 165 pounds by fall from Bonduel.
Weidman with a stand-up.
And on mat 8, the winner
Capellini chops an elbow, brings it back to his base. Weidman plants a foot, comes back up, working on hand control. Capellini tried to lift, switch attempt on the way down. Capellini regains cover and ride. Warning, stalling, Capellini, good call. Capellini just hanging on, that's all he's doing. Not looking to advance for a pin or a turn. 1:03 left. Weidman still has time, but he's got to start scoring in a hurry. Weidman stands up again one more time, locked hands. That's a free point for Weidman. Technical violation, locked hands, says the official. 5-2 now. Again, folding those injured knees up on the mat. You can see that's put some pain in Weidman's face. Back to his feet one more time. Capellini has to cut him loose. It's 5-3, 44 seconds. Back in the match. Weidman with that rush, and Capellini doesn't want to be there. 30 seconds left. In on a shot. Barrel attempt. No good. Getting his head stuffed down by Capellini. Weidman trying to come back out of here. Weidman trying to crawl back in. Capellini just defense, getting backed around the mat. Short drag. And it's 7-3 right now with 7 seconds left. Bennett Weidman's going to go down. 7-3 to Capellini. And he will be in a match for 5th place, 5th and 6th, a little later on this afternoon. We'll be back with more Lincoln High School Red Raider Wrestling when we return to the Kohl Center in Madison, Wisconsin. Welcome, wrestling fans. This is the championship round of the 81st Annual Individual Wrestling State Championship from the Kohl Center in Madison, Wisconsin. Lincoln High School entered the tournament with 7 wrestlers. They are down to 1 in the championship. Carter Freeman at 126 pounds. He will take on Easton Cooper out of DC Everest. Update for you at 157. Nate Weidman medically forfeited his 5th and 6th place match to Schneider, his opponent, Ryland Schneider of Oshkosh West. Saving himself for the team tournament in another week, trying to heal up, get a little bit better. Weidman in 6th place. And congratulations, Bennett Weidman, on your 6th place finish for Wisconsin Rapids Wrestling in the individual state tournament. Here is your opening ceremonies of the individual state tournament. We will let you watch and listen to the ceremonies, and it is a grand opening to be seen. If you haven't been here before, you need to come. Carter Freeman entering the Kohl Center in the Champions Parade. Every fan in attendance on their feet.
Wrestling fans, remain on your feet for the presentation of the colors, and remain standing until the colors are retired. Tonight's color guard detail is performed by the United States Army Madison Recruiting Company.
At this time will come the presentation of the colors from the Madison Recruiting Company.
To honor America, we ask that you remain standing and remove your headwear and join Addison Slusser, a senior at Holman High School, in the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Excellent job by a senior high school student on the national anthem. Colors are being retired.
Before we begin tonight's grand finals, a word about our tournament officials. Like the wrestlers, our officials spend years perfecting their skills with the hopes of one day having the honor of being part of this great event. Tonight's 20-person crew has combined 570 years of mat-on-mat experience. Their dedication to excel helps make this sport an outstanding experience for the student athlete. Let's meet our officials. Steve Hancock from Lehigh. Patrick Austinson from Sussex. Jason Benru from Tremolo. Matthew Boyer from Baraboo.
Going through the list of officials that are officiating this individual state tournament, giving them the recognition that they need and deserve. 570 plus years of wrestling experience on the mat officiating with this group of officials.
Blaine Felsman from Oshkosh. Jeffrey Gross from Delafield. Adam Guthrie from Bloomington. Chuck Kyle from Rice Lake. Zach Krause from Green Bay. Ed Crean from Lake Geneva. Richard Legler from Oregon. Ryan McGuire from Fitchburg. Mike Nicolani from Stoddard. Matt Kraczynski from Arcadia. Daniel Sharonbrock from Appleton. Mike Schumacher from Menasha. And John Sheffield from Green Bay. Ladies and gentlemen, again, let's give all of these officials a big round of applause.
Gotta thank the officials for putting in all the time and work for allowing this sport and many others in high school athletics to continue.
Championship finals action and award ceremony photographs. Visit the VIP website at VIPIS.com to browse and order photos. The website address is also provided in their ad of the state tournament program. Again, the website is VIPIS.com.
Wrestlers crossing the mat, shaking hands with their opponent, heading off to the warm-up areas. The championship set of matches is about to start. Kohl Center packed full of fans. I don't see a seat open anywhere. The state individual wrestling championships are about to begin. We'll be back at the Kohl Center in Madison with the 126-pound state championship match. Landon Freeman and DC Everest Easton Cooper. We'll be back at the Kohl Center in Madison. Back at the individual state wrestling championships. 126-pound matchup coming up. Your Red Raider, Carter Freeman, 47-4 junior. Going to take on a senior, 45-1 from DC Everest, Easton Cooper. These two have had some history. Last year, first matchup, Cooper beat Carter Freeman. It was like 7-0, 7-2. Second matchup, close match, 4-3 Cooper. Last year, individual state tournament right here on the floor of the Kohl Center in Madison. Freeman takes out Easton Cooper and beats him. Here's your 126-pound championship match. Collar ties both wrestlers. And they separate. These two both very skilled. Snap down, head fake, collar tie, arm tie. Nothing so far, 120 left, 0-0. Easton Cooper got here by a 10-0 win over Ryland Smith out of Nicolay in his first round matchup. Then he beat Emmett Becker out of Slinger 4-2. Got a 7-5 overtime win against Turner Campbell, who Carter Freeman has had history with as well. That's who Freeman beat in the sectional championship to get to the state tournament. 45 seconds. Carter Freeman got here with a 1-minute pin over Grady Gallagher out of De Pere. Took out Noah Moltzon out of Hudson 3-1. Freeman in on a single leg. Cooper trying to counter. Freeman trying to step around, lock down the leg, work up at the body. 25 seconds left. Probably get a stalemate call here shortly. Freeman's trying to come out the backside here and turn the corner. But stalemate call, 14 seconds left. And then Freeman put a 12-2 beating on, Cash Botting out of Hortonville to get to the finals. Close, no cigar. 5 seconds left. We're probably going 0-0 into the second period. There's the whistle for the first period gone. 2 minutes each of the 3 periods. Freeman's going to go down. Disc come up, his color red. Freeman, the number 1 seed in the tournament. Cooper, the number 2 seed. Freeman got to his feet temporarily. Now turn the corner, comes up one more time. Cooper drives them ahead. They go out of bounds. 1:49 left. Second period. Carter Freeman set on the bottom. Cooper going to cover on this left-hand side. Freeman right to his feet, works on hands, trying to move the feet. Cooper's got to cut him loose. 1 point in the lead for Carter Freeman. It would be huge if Freeman could score a takedown in this period. Both wrestlers really quick. Same style. Last year, Easton Cooper, upper body Greco guy, thrower. This year, different offense. Shot down low on a single leg, out the back door. Freeman's trying to come, turns to face, gets underhooked on the arms. Cooper still has a leg tied up on the left side of Freeman. Stalemate. Again, close, but not quite. 1:02 left. These two did not wrestle at all in the dual meet in the conference this year. Cooper not in those 2 tournaments. Cooper stayed low enough. Turns to face, does Freeman. Cooper's trying to elevate the leg. Freeman's got to fight this off hard here on the edge of the circle. Off the mat they work. Good defensive wrestling by Carter Freeman. 17 seconds left. Probably going to maintain this score 1-0 with Freeman's lead going into the third period, where Easton Cooper has his choice. He's going down. More than likely, we're going to get to a 1-1 here, unless somehow in a flurry and a scramble, Carter Freeman can catch Easton Cooper, take him to his back.
We need the Division III 120-pound medalists to move to the scale there.
Cooper fights to a high base now. Freeman just hanging on right now. He's got to clear him, get him off the mat. He's got to cut him loose, tie the match. 1:44 left. 1-1. Each wrestler knows each other really, really well. One minor mistake could cost you the state tournament. And Cooper got inadvertently poked in the eye. He backs off, wiping his eye, trying to get that clear. Freeman gives him a little hand slap. Good sportsmanship there by the Red Raider. And we're back at it again. Freeman in a shot again. Can he complete it? Cooper fighting hard to counter. Slide by missed him. Cooper's very good at throws here, so you want to defense that pretty hard. Off the mat, right into the scorer's table and a tower. We got parts and pieces flying everywhere here from the scorer's table. Computers going flying. They're waiting to get set back up. Now we're ready to go with 37 seconds left. Freeman close 2 times, but not quite close enough. Arm tie by Cooper. He's in on a shot down low. Trying to cut the corners, Cooper. Freeman steps over, locked him up, but they're off the mat. Freeman would have had him on his back.
And on mat 4, Division 3, your state champion.
19 seconds left, 1-1. Easton's Cooper had to score an overtime victory to get to this match. He also had to score an overtime victory to win a sectional championship. Freeman in again one more time. Cooper trying to roll through it. Freeman covers him, 2 takedown. 2, Freeman, state champion, 126 pounds.
Your state champion on mat 1, Division 1 from Wisconsin,
3-1, Carter Freeman, your 126-pound state champion. Never stopped wrestling the entire match, wrestled through the periods, through the edge of the circle. Excellent job by that Red Raider. Congratulations. We'll be back to the Kohl Center with more of the individual state wrestling championship. And we're back now at the Kohl Center in Madison as we come down off the roof. And here are the awards being presented in Division 1.
Third place goes to Kane Auburn of Oregon. Our runner-up from DC Everest, Easton Cooper, and the 2024 Wisconsin State champion at 126 pounds from Wisconsin Rapids, Lincoln, Carter Freeman.
Big round of applause for the Lincoln High School Red Raider Carter Freeman, 126-pound state champion in the 81st annual individual state wrestling tournament. There he's got his chart, his award hanging around his neck, big smile on his face, which it should be. Now he turns to the media groups. Going to get some pictures as well. And I hope that he will come up and give us a little time for an interview before we head out of here. Once again, congratulations, Carter Freeman, on your state championship. We're back now at the Kohl Center. More wrestling matches going on, but we got the 126-pound state champion here. Carter Freeman, congratulations.
Thank you.
What does it sound like to you when I say Carter Freeman, state champion?
Feels great, man. I mean, just amazing feeling. Amazing.
When you start off the tournament, you go against a guy by the name of Grady Gallagher. What did you know about him, and did you wrestle him before?
I have not wrestled him before. I just knew to get to my offense, work him, takedowns, all that.
Next up, tougher match, Noah Moltzon. You ever wrestled him before, and what did you learn about him?
I believe I wrestled him last year. Lengthy, not my ideal opponent, but I got to my offense, just worked through it. Passive, I mean, I got to my shots, they were there. It was a good match.
Now you go against Cash Botting. You put a pretty good beating on him, 12-2. Did you have any knowledge of how his styles met yours?
I have not. I knew he was kind of like me. I just had to get to my offense. I worked my offense. I was not letting down on that match. I had nothing to lose, so I just went out there, did my thing.
Now, the tough opponent comes. Easton Cooper. You've had a couple years of history with him. First time around, 7-2, I think, he beat you. Next time, it got a lot closer. Last year, he kind of seemed like a more upper body thrower kind of a guy. This year, watching him down here, more leg attack, more offense than just upper body. And last year you beat him down here when it really mattered. So what did you learn? What did you know about Cooper?
I knew we were a good match. I mean, we had, like you said before, I had him before. He beat me multiple times, but that gave me something to better myself and just work on. He was an opponent that I was watching throughout the year. I had to keep up with him. I knew I'd see him again, so I just had to work my stuff and get to work my offense and just improve.
Did you ever think when you were wrestling all those little kids matches on the weekends years ago that you'd ever be a state champion?
You know, some people would say they did, but I didn't. I never knew what it was like down here. I remember coming down here and watching the high schoolers down here when I was young, and it just gave me an inspiration to go out on that mat and win.
How long have you been wrestling?
I've been wrestling ever since I can remember.
Anything that you'd like to say to your teammates now that you've climbed the top of the mountain here, or any of the future Red Raider wrestlers?
I mean, my team has pushed me through all this. I mean, Ben, Kai, Landon, like, they're all been by my side. Wins and losses, they pushed me to this position, and they've helped me get to this podium. Preston Spray was my partner all freshman year. He pushed me. I didn't beat him. He pounded me and pushed me to get to this level, and I think that helped a lot, and that's why I got here today.
I'll give you the opportunity now to talk about or to thank or to mention anybody else that you'd like, coaches, family, however. This is your opportunity.
I mean, there's a lot of people, my teammates, my coaches, Coach Louis Bennett, he was always there. Just my coaches, my family, especially my dad, he's put so much time and effort and money into just making me better. And I wouldn't be here without any of them.
I think Dad was pretty nervous. I seen him walking around in the hallways back here by us and kind of hiding out of the bright lights here watching you. Is that kind of the way Dad normally is?
I don't think so, but he knew how big this match was for me, and I think he was more nervous than I was. So
It looked like it from us. Carter, thanks for stopping by. Congratulations. Now lead the team on to a team title next weekend. Congratulations. Thank you. That's Carter Freeman, 126-pound state champion for the Lincoln High School Red Raiders. Back at the Kohl Center, more wrestling going on here, but we're able to get head coach Scott Benz to stop by after his championship 126-pounder gave us an interview. Scott, give us your insight of how the tournament went for the Red Raiders.
You know, it was up and down. Obviously, we ended on a good note, having you know, a state champion, and you know, and just a really super match by Carter. It didn't start out so great on Friday night. You know, we lost a couple we thought we'd win, and then you know, then even lost a couple more later in that tournament as we got into Friday that we thought we could win. And you know, the hope was to come down and put 4 guys, maybe 5 guys on a podium, and kind of you know, kind of set the tone for next week. And we kind of, you know, just did not wrestle well. But that's been kind of our MO all season, is we have trouble stringing stuff together too many weeks in a row. And hopefully, you know, we have a good week of practice and we get things back on the right track for next Friday night.
Yeah, the Red Raiders, you had mentioned up and down a little bit. There's a couple of upset matches that we were ahead in and didn't win. And one guy that wrestled tough as nails, even though he's basically on no legs and one arm, was Bennett Weidman at 157, finishing in 6th place.
Yeah, you know, Ben's just struggling. It's you know, he's going to be all right. That was a tough tournament for him this weekend, and you know, probably, you know, there's some thought of maybe not even trying to get back to the podium. You know, as we had injury default out on that Thursday night, and he kind of regrouped it pretty well on Friday morning and wrestled real well to get to the place matches, and then thought we'd give it a try today and try to get a little higher on the podium. It just wasn't working out. And just made a decision. I made a decision for him not to wrestle anymore. And, you know, so he fell to 6th place. But, you know, going to be a state place winner, you know, the rest of his life. And it was a great way for him to finish up his individual wrestling career down here in the Kohl Center after 3 times. You know, we needed to get him to the podium, and he got there and kind of got over that hurdle. And I'm pretty proud of how we, you know, how he handled the situation this weekend and how he wrestled.
Yeah. The other guys that got down here, again, didn't have some success. what do you think they're going to put in the back of their mind for next week and next year?
Well, if you take a look at Degan, he wrestled nervous. He just did. Even though he got the first win, you'd like to think that you get that one under your belt. But it's a different environment down here, and you never know quite how kids are going to respond. And I thought he wrestled nervous, and you know, we get maybe those matches back next week. You know, kids that now are probably seated ahead of them next week, and that team stuff as far as team seating goes. You know, we'll get some time to, you know, to maybe, you know, turn some of those around. You know, we've been pretty good at turning around matches.
Right.
And so for him, I think just the experience of being here, we've had guys come down the first time and just not wrestle well, and then the next year come down and we're just fine. Take a look just up the line, you know, Landon got put in a really tough spot in that bracket. And, you know, 2 state place winners back to back. And he, you know, didn't have his best match, you know, that first one with Flater. And more than likely we get that match again next Friday night. I got a feeling we'll see Hartford sometime in there on Friday. Right. You know, and then he wrestled Zielinski pretty well. I thought we'd come back in that first period and just, you know, fell a little bit short. And, you know, so it was a tough spot in the bracket. And then Kyler's match obviously was, you know, disappointing. That very loud in here.
Yeah, it's loud.
That you know, we had that big lead, and you know, he just you know, whatever happened there, you know, it just he just kind of stopped wrestling, and things kind of unraveled on him, and that happens down here. And those matches and periods go fast; they become a blur, and sometimes it's just overwhelming, and something that he's going to have to work on. Mark Jesy, I thought, wrestled pretty well, just was in a tough spot in the bracket. Two state place winners. I mean, they might have been in the finals and third, I think. Mm-hmm. And so not much we can do there. He's not better than those guys, and he got to be by guys better than him. So the experience was awesome for him, and hopefully at Team State, this kind of environment, he's a little more prepared for it. And then obviously Tanner, going back to that one, or that Friday night, or Thursday night actually. It's been a long week.
It's been a long week.
And you know, he got in a spot. That kid came back and took, what, 5th? And the kid was dangerous. And we got to a spot where that guy was better than we were, and I think Tanner thought he was in a good spot, but it really was that other guy's spot is where he was. And unfortunately, that guy was better in that position than we were, and we got beat, so, and didn't get a Wrestleback. So,
Coach, this next week now, we're going to head back here tonight or tomorrow, whichever it is, and then, yeah, I think we're going to them tonight too, but see what the practice schedule is going to be like. You leave probably Friday morning, I'm assuming, heading down to the barn, and a lot of historic wrestling is taking place there.
Yeah, we got 4 days of practice now. Now we're going to take tomorrow off, and probably, you know, do a pool workout, something like that. Just try to get our guys back on the mat. We had a workout yesterday. We wrestled at 6 o'clock on Thursday before we left, so our guys that weren't wrestling here were working out. Right. You know, kind of clean up some things, talk about a bunch of things like what we're trying to accomplish, and you know, individually what we need to do in each match. By tomorrow about 11 o'clock, we'll know who we're going to wrestle. Right now, we don't really have a clue, and we've spent hours trying to figure out where we were going to be, and we don't have a clue. We really don't. So if I'm being really honest about where we stand, I think there's 8 teams that can probably on any given night win this tournament. And it's not typically like that. Typically there's a team or two, you know, are going to get to the finals. There's a team or two, you know, that got there but probably aren't going to win a match. It's not like that. We match up with every team well enough that we can beat every team in the tournament. If we don't wrestle well, we can lose to every team in the tournament. So it's, you know, so we're just like that. It's, I hopefully we have the kind of matches we had with Lodi, that we had with Holman, where we get up and we wrestle pretty doggone good as a group, and we're banking on that. We have to bank on that because that's what we have. We have a bunch of guys that wrestle for each other and like to compete for each other, and they wear that uniform pretty proud. And if we can have that kind of effort, we'll be wrestling on Saturday. Anything short of that, we don't have a whole lot of leeway to have a bad match. So we are at that point right now where we can talk about what our goals are, but they're here now, and we're either going to achieve them or we're not.
Coach, thanks very much for stopping by, taking some time out. I know you're going to watch a little wrestling, and then we're going to get headed out of here. Thanks for stopping by. Good luck next week, and we'll be covering that tournament on Wisconsin Rapids Community Media.
Thank you, Scott.
One last update from the Kohl Center in Madison. Awards being presented at 157 pounds. Bennett Weidman, your Red Raider, finishing in 6th place, getting a medal put around his neck. Congratulations, Bennett Weidman, on your 6th place finish in the individual state wrestling tournament. And good luck next week in the team tournament as well. That'll be it for this year's individual state wrestling tournament from the Kohl Center. Thank you to Craig Tim giving him match side seats. Myself, I'm Scott Tesch. We'll bring you the team wrestling tournament when we return to the old barn in Madison.